Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Recovery Snack from Recovery Concepts. I'm Chris. Thank y'all for joining this morning. Sunday, March 8th. Moving right along, enjoying this warm streak here in Southwest Virginia. Loving it, loving it. All right, March 8th. Let's dive in. Let's see what we got good for today. Quote by Henry J.M. Nouwen. The spiritual life does not remove us from the world, but leads us deeper into it. We get into recovery to get our life back. The shame that is often part of our addiction can have us believe we are second-class citizens. We are not. Recovery demands that we go deeper and deeper into the world. By moving deeper into the world, we deepen our relationship with our higher power. As we are given the gifts of recovery, freedom, care, and love, we need to take these gifts out into the world. The world needs them just as we need recovery. We who were hopeless must bring hope to those who need it. We who lived in despair must now bring joy into the larger world. We who lived in shame must now bring dignity to those who seek direction. This is the way of the Spirit. We are now givers, not takers. Prayer for the day. Higher power, help me to stay on the path of the Spirit. Help me to go deeper and deeper into your world. Today's action. Today I will list 5 ways I can give more to the world I live in. I will then start to act in a way that will make me a giver and not a taker. Well, I don't want to go beat myself up too much or whatever. I have a disease, not a moral deficiency. But yeah, I was a taker. I can relate to that 100%. I was a taker. It was always about me. How can I gain? What does this do for me? What can I extract from you? It was a really backward way to, exist on this planet, and it didn't produce good results, man. I was suspect of myself. The drugs and alcohol just expounded everything to where I didn't care. I had the isms. I personally have the isms. I had some questionable thought processes and habits before the drugs and alcohol ever hit my body. I had it mixed up somehow. And I believe now I can trace that back into some pretty substantial events that happened early in my life that caused me to, feel things that I didn't want to feel with absolutely no escape. And I believe that gave me a unhealthy set of coping mechanisms to, I don't know, deflect what was going on, remove me from the now, just anything but kind of sit in my skin and think about stuff. Growing up and being a kid, man, even if things are going really well, it's an odd time. And I had love, don't get it wrong. I had love, thank God. Due to divorce, I had 2 loving families. Now, I don't think they got along that well, in rooms that I wasn't in way more times than not. There was some spit spat stuff, of course, but divorce, as sad as it was, it opened up opportunities for me to meet and have two sets of loving families. It was just confusing. That was confusing or whatever. And so I had love. It wasn't a lack of that, but there was a lot of different things that went on in my life that I did not know how to deal with. For some reason, I thought it was not a good idea for me to be able to talk about them. Due to divorce, I was raised by some grandfathers, and I saw how they acted. And I saw, how my father and my father figures acted. And it just became apparent to me that, you ain't supposed to, maybe we don't talk about stuff. Maybe we don't talk about stuff. Men don't talk about stuff. And you're just supposed to handle it. And that was a bad thing for me to pick up. Because now my expression, as I sit here on a YouTube channel talking about my life and all the mistakes in it and how it can get better, so I forget that part. I have absolutely no problem talking about most things that have been part of my life. There's pieces of me nobody will ever get. My sponsor and my guide got them in my fifth step, the really deep, hard stuff. But generally speaking, I have no problem sharing with the world, quite frankly, the disaster that I had become due to some misconceptions about how life is, thinking it was supposed to be fair, and then interjecting drugs and alcohol into it for about 30 years did not help the situation, for sure. It provided escape for a little while until it started providing problems, until it started providing death. It was offering death. And luckily I've been able to stay away from that for a while. But recovery can change your life. It's changed mine. These readings, man, I'm telling you, I'm so glad I bought this book. This is amazing. But we who live in shame must now bring dignity to those who seek direction. We who lived in despair must now bring joy into the larger world. We were hopeless. We who were hopeless bring hope. We are now givers, not takers, man. I don't want to break my arm patting my back, because that ain't what this is about either. I can mess this up in an instant like I've messed it up before, and I just don't want to do that. So I do my maintenance stuff that I'm doing right now. But it's so nice being in this version of Chris at this time. I make mistakes for sure, but man, I am not who I used to be, and it is all about 12-step recovery for me that made the change. I understand how it was, and I understand how it is now. I work in a facility around people that are trying to make changes in their lives, and man, what I talk about, what was in the middle. Not then, not now, a little bit, of course, but what happened in the middle? Because without what happened in the middle, the happenings that occurred in the middle during 12-step recovery, during step work, during reopening a channel with a spirit greater than mine, a spirit greater than me, a higher power, my God. Without doing that, the things that happened in the middle, man, it would just be more drawn out sequences of the past, which progressively get worse. And I don't want to live there, man. I don't want to live there. I believe that time of my life brought value, because now I'm able to share a little bit about it, and I believe that at points in times it helps others who try to make a turn, try to make a change, try to understand, start figuring out that they're not the only one, that this thing's a disease. It's not a moral deficiency, and people can get better, man. It's just going to be work. That's it. It's going to be work. And I impress upon anybody that listens to me ever, in any capacity, wherever I am, work is coming anyway. There will be work, period, Jack, period. It's either going to be putting in work, living and trying to survive the way that you once knew, or putting in the work to make the change. Both of them are work. There is no instance where immediately, if you're new into recovery, that it's just easy and not work. That's a bunch of bullshit, or it was in my case, and most of them that I see. It's hard for us to categorically change who we are and our habits and all that. That comes over putting in work, doing the deal, and some time. So wherever you are in your recovery, I hope that made some kind of sense to you. Give yourself a break and try to apply some change to your life today, man. It gets easier as it goes along, for sure, but the work is coming no matter what season you are in. So y'all have a blessed day. I appreciate you joining me. Please come on back. We'll make it a Magic Monday tomorrow morning, Lord willing. Thank you so much for joining again. Please subscribe, share, tell a friend, do something or another. Help me get this thing out there if you see any value in it. Again, have a blessed day. Thanks. Bye-bye.